During your second and third semesters of the Counseling Center Paraprofessional program, you will have the opportunity to participate in many different forms of outreach on campus. Each CCP will participate in 2 major contracts, which are 30 hours per semester, and 1 minor contract, which is 15 hours per semester. For example, my 2 major contracts were the Alcohol and Other Drug Office and Women's Resource Programming, but my minor contract was working on the CCP newsletter called The Paraphrase. There is literally something for everyone. For example, if you're interested in the LGBT community on campus, the Sexual Orientation Diversity Allies would be a great way for you to get involved with that population.
My contracts were the Sexual Orientation Diversity Allies. Basically, it's the LGBT outreach committee through the Counseling Center. I got to attend an ally training and then also facilitate one. I got to design pamphlets and bulletin boards. I did a workshop on multisexuality. That was a really, really cool opportunity. And so that was a really interesting contract. I learned a lot.
Every CCP has the opportunity to work with another organization called Interlink.
What I did was I worked with an international student who I was a mentor for, and so basically it was just like getting to hang out with a cool friend once a week. We went out for coffee and we talked about things she was concerned about with transitioning, to going to school in the States versus China, which is where she was from.
In addition to doing outreach on campus, we also have a few other in-house positions that count for your contracted activity.
I was the office administrator for the Counseling Center Paraprofessional program, which gave me the opportunity to publicize the Tuesday 7 workshops and work behind the scenes with Teresa, our program coordinator, on many different tasks.
The trauma treatment team would be perfect for anyone wanting to learn more about domestic violence and sexual assault.
Well, for one of my contracts, I worked for the trauma treatment team. So the first semester we did a lot of education. So we read a lot of different articles about domestic violence, sexual assault, child abuse, sexual assault in the military, and we had a really big and broad understanding of what sexual assault and domestic violence was in general. And then this spring we really took a lot of that knowledge and applied it, and we did a lot of different workshops on campus, specifically in sororities, and we presented on healthy relationships with kind of an emphasis on dating violence and how to be a friend and an advocate. It just felt like such a great opportunity to do some outreach on campus.
If you're interested in performing, Inner Voices Social Issues Theater would be a really fun contract for you.
As a CCP, we were kind of like the voices in the house, kind of offering our perspective with kind of like an interpersonal, somewhat mental health related background, and how this could kind of add more of a different angle to the show. We also, the second semester, got to do a workshop on the bystander effect, which is one of my absolute favorite concepts in psychology, so that was a really rewarding experience.
The Alcohol and Other Drug Office is a very interesting contract which gives CCPs the opportunity to facilitate an alcohol education class as well as do outreach on campus with sororities and fraternities.
First semester, I believe I taught 4 CAB classes, and the material is always the same, so you get to learn it better and better each time, and each time you're more prepared. And so I really enjoyed I tried to do as many classes as I could just because I liked getting better at it, and once I knew the material, I was able to better develop my skills that I learned in class first semester. So that's what I really liked about that. In addition to teaching CAB classes, we did outreach at several fraternities and sororities on campus, and it's kind of similar to the CAB class material-wise, but it was more focused on just like safer drinking strategies and how the group can work together to promote a safer environment for everyone, and also keeping in mind the values of the fraternity and what they stood for, and how maybe their attitudes on alcohol were in a disagreement, or their practices even were in disagreement with what the fraternity valued. So it was a lot of like getting in touch with their values, getting in touch with each other, and I enjoyed teaching these classes just because more experience in utilizing your skills, and you got to work with so many other people from the counseling center on these classes. A really fun time.
While it may seem like so many already, those aren't the only contracted activities that CCP has to offer. Here's a quick look at all the contracted activities that you could be involved in as a CCP.